Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's start. Hi, everyone. It's on. Hello, everyone. Hi. Okay. Okay, that's it. Hi, everyone. Can I get your attention for 1 minute? Okay, I think we need to start because Roger is about to start in 2 minutes. I just want to say something very quick as introduction. My name is Susan Lindeke. We own a Vestex group, and this is our hub. It's brand new, as you can see. We've opened up in December. We really have to have this as a blockchain, fintech, AI, robotics, and proptech hub for not just Brisbane. We want to expand it into the whole of Australia and really create an ecosystem where everyone can come together. We want to invest in our startups, not just in terms of what we can provide for them, but also in terms of bringing a lot of venture capital into this space. And yes, we hope you all enjoy the evening. Just quickly, a couple of things. There's some exit down the stairs, but it's also if you go around the middle center, there's some exit stairs that's going down, just in terms of safety. There's a bathroom on top. If you go down the stairs, there's bathrooms at the bottom. If anyone needs anything, you can contact myself, Peggy, or Isaac at the back, and we're more than happy to help. Please, your evening. Thank you.
Just seeing, testing the microphone settings on the stream, making sure they're perfected. Otherwise, even Roger won't be able to hear us. But yeah, welcome to the Bitcoin Cash meetup here in Brisbane. And this is obviously the first meetup for the year that we're having. Decided to kick things off with a bang, get Roger on board. And yeah, so there's a lot of exciting things that have been going on recently. Looks like he's coming on now, so I'll just pop that over
That's bad. I'm not wearing my Bitcoin Cash shirt. Let me
there.
change
Yeah, how's
that.
it going? Cool. Can you hear my audio well? Or
I sure can. Yeah, I can hear you really well.
awesome. So yeah, we're here in Brisbane, Australia, Roger, if you haven't heard, and got the
Yeah,
Bitcoin
summertime for
Cash
you guys,
meetup
right?
here.
It's freezing cold here. Hi, everyone.
Awesome. I'll just get the camera a bit more on the audience so you can see people. But yeah, there's been a lot of things going on in the Bitcoin Cash space recently that I'm sure many people here want to talk to you about and find out
Nice shirt, buddy.
from the man himself, like what's been going on. But I thought I would kick it off first of all and ask you a question or two about some things, some new developments. And I heard recently that you were involved with this new service called CoinFlex, where they are doing physically delivered Bitcoin Cash futures, and that's something we haven't seen before. Are you able to tell people more about that?
Yeah, so the main guy behind that is a young man named Mark Lamb, who's been involved in Bitcoin since, I don't know, 2011 or 12 or 13 at the latest. He's been around a while. And pretty much all the investors that he got there are all big giant Bitcoin Cash fans. So you better believe that CoinFlex is really going to be bullish on Bitcoin Cash in general. And he's kind of another one of those people that used to be a big BTC fan, and when they saw the fees go so high, and then so many of these BTC guys cheering about the fees being high, they realized, oh, this is a nightmare. We need something that works. So here we are, and he's used to be based in London. He moved to Hong Kong recently, so similar time zone to us here in Japan or Australia. So maybe he'd be a good person to chat with in the future as well.
Indeed. Yeah, we've actually already talked to him on the CoinSpice podcast, so if anyone's interested in that, go check it out. And yeah, I guess the other big thing which has been talked about a lot, but we've just come out of a chain split that happened in November, and it didn't really cause as many problems as people had been hyping it up with. Like Bitcoin Cash worked perfectly fine throughout the actual upgrade process, and like we were using the bitcoin.com wallet even, and nothing really happened. There was just a few services that disabled the Bitcoin Cash payments for a little while there, but how has bitcoin.com been dealing with the aftermath of that? Have you guys been trying to help many of these services which turned it off to turn Bitcoin Cash back on?
Yeah, I would like everybody to turn it back on. There wasn't any reason to turn it off at all to begin with, and it's kind of like the biggest thing to fear was fear itself, and all this fear, uncertainty, and doubt caused a bunch of businesses to temporarily disable it, which is a giant problem. So the fork on that front, just because the fear was a big problem, because so many people did turn off and pause their deposits and withdrawals and suspend their Bitcoin Cash service. Whereas at Bitcoin.com, everything kept on going the entire way through, and there wasn't actually any problem at all with anything. Man, it was a frustrating time, I think, for everybody involved. But now things are definitely back on track, and we've been spending a lot of time using Bitcoin Cash based tokens now here in the office. We've been creating tokens and sending them around to people, and it's faster and cheaper and more reliable than, of course, BTC, and certainly cheaper than Ethereum at this point as well to send these tokens. It's been pretty fun. So if you haven't checked out the Badger wallet yet, go to badger.bitcoin.com. You can send and receive both Bitcoin Cash and tokens for both Simple Ledger Protocol and Wormhole Cash. So and you can make your own tokens, and you can do all sorts of fun stuff. So it's pretty fun new software tool we have to play with us.
Yep. I saw, Gabriel Cardona released that earlier this morning, and they've actually got the Badger Wallet extension now on the Chrome store, making it a lot easier for people to install and use that. And it's basically like a MetaMask on Bitcoin Cash. So definitely go and try that out. It's been pretty good for making payments. We've integrated like a button on our website where you can just click it and then instantly tip us, and like there's no third parties involved. We get the payment directly, and you can go and implement that on your website too for selling goods and services and all sorts of things. You just need to embed it into your website and do a few tweaks of the code. We did a guide on that. So yeah. And what else? I know that you mentioned prior to New Year's that there was a big announcement coming. Has that been announced yet? I think I know what it might be, but could you tell us more about that?
Part of it's been announced. They're kind of trickling some of it out, and I told them that they should wait to make the announcement until this week, rather than trickling out part of it between New Year's and Christmas, where everyone's busy with the holidays. But AMA Cargo Group here in Japan has their own token, which is a sub-company of ANA, the airline, the largest airline in Japan. And they're busy doing things on Bitcoin Cash. We'll have lots more joint press releases from Bitcoin.com and the different subsidiaries of ANA Group in the future. So keep an eye out for that. And I think it's pretty exciting news that they're building it all on Bitcoin Cash.
Okay, cool. Well, part of the main reasons why I got you here today was so that the audience can ask questions. So does anyone here have a question for Roger? And I'll pass it on to you. All right.
Yeah, Roger, it's Trent here. So my question is in regards to, in light of the recent Ethereum Classic 51% attack, I'd like to hear your thoughts on Bitcoin Cash's security vulnerability when considered that its hash rate is a lot smaller than Bitcoin's hash rate.
So I'm probably not the best person to ask that. That's probably a better question for, Amaury or one of the other developers. But from what I understand, because there's, a 10 block rolling checkpoint, as long as you have 10 blocks or 10 confirmations, you're good for forever, and you don't have to worry about a reorg more than 10 blocks deep. So, 10 blocks is a little over an hour and a half. You're good as gold at that point. So, but ideally, we'd like to make it. I'd like to see Bitcoin Cash get more and more traction, so it has even more hash rate than BTC at some point, and it's even more secure than BTC. That's the goal, is to make Bitcoin Cash for the world and so useful that it attracts the hash rate away from BTC. I'd love to see that happen.
Yeah, and I'd like to add on that one. Based on what I've heard, and this is on record, people like Jihan and other big miners, Jihan has said himself that they are only mining BTC for short-term profitability reasons, and then next minute they've got a massive amount of Bitcoin Cash that they've accumulated. So clearly a lot of these bigger miners are just mining BTC because it has more monetary value in the short term, and they're selling it off to buy an asset that they think is more viable long term.
And even at Bitcoin.com, with their own mining power that we own, we're mining whichever coin is most profitable, and then we sell it for more Bitcoin Cash. In fact, I was just, before this call started, I was busy trading more BTC for more BCH.
Nice. Okay, anyone else here?
Hi, Roger. Can you hear me okay?
I sure can. Hello.
Hi. I just wanted to ask you, with the potential, or is it with ANA Airlines, that Zenniku you're talking about, they're with Star Alliance. Is there potential for that to go to the other airlines for Bitcoin Cash?
Anything's possible, but we're only dealing with a sub-company that's part of the ANA group at the moment, but that's how things work, right? You start with one part and it spreads to the rest. So
right.
You can hope.
Is that just like domestic or international? Like, can you...
At the moment, it's for the Japan domestic market that we're focusing. Well, I take it back. No, it's Asia more than the West at the moment, but we'll spread from there. So, okay. And I can't give away all our secrets at the moment, but there's lots of stuff happening. So I met with them yesterday. I'm meeting with them again tomorrow. It's a very active, ongoing relationship.
Nice. Thank you.
Hi, Roger. Brendan Lee here. Look, I wanted to ask, in light of the recent Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SV fork, we've managed to split not just the community, but the technology, the applications. So you have wallets lining up on both sides of the divide. You have companies lining up on both sides of the divide, and as you probably will know, part of that. And the value is lined up on both sides. And not only that, but a lot of the value has, I feel, been chased out of the coin, and there's a lot of, or both coins, because the aggregate value of the two changes is nowhere near what it was prior to the fork. I just wanted to ask, what is your thought on, if you had the time over again, would you try to take a more conciliatory approach rather than the split, doing the split and breaking what effectively I thought was working very well and turning it into two separate currencies?
Yeah, if I had a magic time machine and could control the way everything played out, I would have liked it so there wasn't a split. But we can't. And in the discussions that were had in Thailand, one side basically refused to have any sort of discussions. Craig Wright literally called the other side. They said this is a bunch of BS and lies, and got up and left the room. And I don't know how to deal with that sort of thing, right? If one side is acting like that. And I can't hear you. Maybe if you can talk louder into the microphone, or maybe the cable came loose.
Okay.
can no longer hear.
I have listened to the. Is that better? Can you hear me now?
A million times better. I can hear you now.
Okay, great. Okay. So, I mean, if you do the point where nChain asked to delay the fork to try and negotiate, but, you know, Maury was pretty explicit when he said he wished nChain good luck and that they were going to split no matter what. And so it felt like to me that it didn't matter what nChain did, that Bitcoin ABC was going to. And really, how do you, like, I mean, as an outside observer, I mean, that's what it looked like. And so I felt, you know, that it's kind of a bit of a betrayal of the coin, to be honest.
And I couldn't hear everything because of the audio, but I think I got the main point of the question is like, why weren't both sides trying to be more reconciliatory towards the other? And I agree. It would have been nice if everybody could have gotten along a bit better. So I agree.
Canonical transaction ordering and a couple of opcodes is worth all this.
And again, I had a real hard time hearing, but you know, there were. I think what he says the only differences were a couple of opcodes and the block size thing. Like, I agree, the differences were so incredibly minor that it didn't seem worth splitting over at all. Is how I see it. So.
Thanks. I think I know what the microphone issue is, so I'll just tell people to use it correctly. It's not your fault. But do we have any more questions? And also, if you're watching the YouTube stream, please send through some questions if you've got any.
Can you hear me, Roger?
Perfectly.
Perfect. All right. So currently the cryptocurrency community is largely focused on trading and the actual market price of these coins and tokens. What do you think, as a leader in this industry, we need to do to start moving that away from trading and monetary gain towards an actual adoptive technology that can be used not only in enterprise but for everyday consumers?
Yeah, I think we need to focus on the things in which cryptocurrencies are more useful than the traditional banking system or traditional finance system. So one of the places where it's strongest is in international remittances. Like, you can't send money from, you know, Japan to Australia or Australia to the Philippines with traditional stuff. You can't do that for a fraction of a penny and instantly, whereas with crypto, you can. So like another company that I'm a big fan of is coins.ph. Like, they make it super easy for anyone to send money from anywhere in the world into the Philippines. They're using crypto to do that. And so basically we just need to make cryptocurrency more useful than the traditional things that people are using today. So one example too is if you have a business, start accepting it as payment, and and then also start paying your employees in cryptocurrency. Or if you work someplace, ask your boss to start paying you in cryptocurrency. Use it every chance you have as money. And I think that's the, you know, start focusing on using it as money rather than just speculating on other speculators.
So, two questions. First of all, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, perfectly. I don't know what was wrong with the other guy with the mic, but you guys are.
I think it's a cardioid, so he's not speaking directly into it. So, are there any major differences in the laws governing the usage of cryptocurrency, and specifically Bitcoin Cash in Japan, that don't exist anywhere else that would enable, you know, companies like ANA to take advantage of the cryptocurrency?
The short answer is I don't know, but and maybe it's faded a little bit, but I know in the early days for sure, there was a lot of nationalistic pride in Japan that Bitcoin was created by Satoshi Nakamoto. Obviously, Satoshi is a Japanese person, so we want the whole world to know what a wonderful thing was created by the Japanese. So there was a lot of affection towards Bitcoin in Japan just because of the Satoshi Nakamoto being the name of the creator. And I think some of that is still around to this very day.
Right. Perfect. So one other question before I pass it on here. So with cryptocurrency in its lower state now, and the two forks in the ABC and SV, how do you foresee all this, you know, Bitcoin Cash recovering from where it is right now?
I think we just have to build the tools to make it useful enough that people start using it. And if something's useful, people are going to use it. If it's not useful, they won't. So let's build all the tools to make Bitcoin Cash amazingly useful for the entire world as cash. And that's what we're busy doing at Bitcoin.com. And like I said before, if you haven't checked out the Badger wallet yet, give it a try. It's pretty fun with your tokens right there built in.
Hey mate, my name's Keir, so just bear with me for some ignorance I may have. I'm just new to this space.
I think you need to hold the mic closer to your mouth.
Just bear with me for some ignorance I may have, because I am just new into this space. I'm just curious, where does cryptocurrency have its future in a lot of the developing world, where a lot of the economies are growing faster than we've ever seen before, where people use mobile devices a lot more to do service transactions, such as purchasing products, doing large shipments across the globe? Where does cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, have its place in these countries as of right now?
Well, I'd love to show you. If you're new to the space, I'm guessing maybe you don't have a wallet yet. Do you have a Bitcoin Cash wallet yet?
Unfortunately, not at this present moment.
So I'm going to show you how amazing it is right now. If you have a cell phone with you, pull it out, and an iPhone or Android, and maybe Otto can help you there. Install the Bitcoin.com wallet on your phone, and right over the video camera here, you're going to have to hold your phone up to wherever the camera is zooming in on you, but I'll send you some money right through this video call from Tokyo to Australia, and you can see how amazing it is. So whoever's controlling the camera, zoom in on him there, and once he has the app installed, you'll hit the receive button, and you're going to have to zoom in a lot for that one for me to be able to scan it, or maybe you can stand up and hold the phone close to the camera once you have the app installed. And then you'll be able to see like how amazing it is, right? Because I couldn't hear your name because the microphone wasn't close enough to your mouth. Yeah, so you're almost there. So you're going to have to hit like OK there, like generate a wallet or something, I think it says. I can't hear you without the mic.
So it's just creating a wallet now?
Okay, perfect. So wait another couple seconds for it to finish creating that wallet, and then you'll hit the receive button.
We can't zoom any closer, so he's going to have to try and get closer to the camera.
He looks like a tall guy. I think he can do it. So.
All right, we're going to attempt a world first here.
I see it. Okay, there we go. So you have to hit the receive button on the app there. And then you'll see a QR code, and hold that QR code up for the camera. There we go. Hold it nice and steady. Can you bring it a little bit closer maybe? Or okay, don't move. Hold it steady. It's almost there. It's a little bit out of focus, so if you can just like a little bit blurry there. So what, maybe can you get it closer to the camera, or stand on a chair? There we go. This is gonna fix it now. So hold it right up to the camera lens, and don't move a little bit closer to the camera so it takes up more of the field of view, if you don't mind. Can you get it closer, or is that as close as it gets? That's got to scan. I can see it now. Come on. There we go. Scanned it. Okay. So here we go. $20 is coming
Sweet.
from Tokyo, Japan to Australia there. And you didn't give me your name. You didn't give me your tax ID number. You didn't give me any information at all. If you look on your phone there, my phone sent it. You should see a green check mark on your phone that you've received it, just like that. So that's an example of how this is better than banks or credit cards or PayPal or any of this sort of stuff. So. Yeah, there it is. I can see it. You got the money. So.
All right, sweet.
And
awesome.
So please tell your friends and family
easy.
about that wherever they are in the world, and show them that's how easy it is. You can now send and receive money with anyone, anywhere in the world, basically for free, and there's nothing that anybody can do to stop it or control it in any way. Like, that's world-changing, powerful technology.
There you go. Awesome. Thanks for that, Roger.
Do you want the $20 back?
No, that's for you, but I ask if you share it with some of your friends and family. Maybe give 20 friends each $1 as well, or give 19 of them and keep one for yourself.
Do you want to say?
Hi, Roger. Can you hear me?
I sure can.
So I represent a group of Chinese Bitcoin cash holders. They want to ask, what's your thoughts on reducing the block time?
What's my stance on reducing the block time?
What's your thoughts? Like the block. Yeah.
the stance on reducing the block time. Yes, I think that's what she wants to know.
Yeah, I don't see any need for it. Bitcoin works just fine with 10-minute blocks. I don't see a need for it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, there's other implications in doing that as well. Like it speeds up the whole mining process, and like
If things
there
aren't
can
broken,
only
don't
be
fix it.
21
is how I
million.
see it.
So yeah, did you have a question?
And is there anybody else in the audience that actually doesn't have any Bitcoin Cash yet or hasn't tried it yet? Maybe we should help out some other people as well. I see another hand up, so hopefully he's telling the truth as well. I see some wine there. The guy with the Bitcoin shirt on, I'm not sure if I believe him, but if anybody else doesn't, I'll gladly send you guys some more so you guys can
Holding. Hi, Roger. Thanks for coming to Australia and speaking with us, and thanks for your time. So just a general question. So in general about the cryptocurrency fluctuation, so you can see that, of course, everything is following Bitcoin, BTC. And it's supposed to be actually the opposite. So since Bitcoin is the dominance, so it should be the opposite action, but I can see that everything is exactly following the same. Do you have any comment about that? Do you have any thoughts? Why is this happening?
Yeah, the first mover advantage has been incredibly powerful and helpful for BTC because it's the base currency that so many of these other crypto coins are traded against. So they all move in sync with each other, and that's starting to fade. You're seeing Ethereum take more and more of that. You're seeing some of these stable coins take more and more of that. But the network effect that BTC has is incredibly powerful, and the amount of infrastructure and name recognition, and that's a really, really hard hurdle to overcome for Bitcoin Cash or any other cryptocurrency as well. But as soon as the BTC has another fee incident where the blocks are full again and the fees are high, people are going to be scrambling to look for alternatives. And I think Bitcoin Cash is going to be right there at the very front of the line of potential alternatives for people to switch to.
G'day, Roger. Can you hear me?
I can.
What do you think of stablecoins? And hypothetically, if Facebook were to release a stablecoin, what would it do to the ecosystem?
I think stable coins are a lot better than normal bank accounts, but they're not nearly as good as actual hard money cryptocurrencies. And so I think that's one of the things that's been so frustrating for me with the delay of adoption of Bitcoin for the world because the block size, quota, production quota that was put in place there. I think this year is really going to be the year of the stable coins. We're going to see so many stable coins out there getting more and more traction, and that's better than what we've had before, but not nearly as good as what things could have been. Because even with a stable coin, the Australian government or the US government, they can still go and print as many dollars as they want. And then the stable coin issuer will just issue more stable coins. So the government still get to benefit from their magic money printing machines to print, inflate the currency to pay for whatever they want to pay for. And that's really disappointing because I want to see that tool that they have undermined. I want to see it so that governments no longer can print as much money as they want out of thin air for any reason. And if the world starts using, fiat-backed stable coins, governments still have their magic money printing tool, and that's a bad thing. So.
Okay, I will take one question from the YouTube audience at the moment, and it's from an Emma B. She wants to know, Roger, what apps or services would you like to see on Bitcoin Cash to further increase adoption? Obviously, spending is the number one case there, but what else in addition to that?
Yeah, I'd love to see some security tokens where companies issue, shares in their company on Bitcoin Cash blockchain using Bitcoin Cash tokens, and then actually pay the dividends to their shareholders in Bitcoin Cash. I would love to see that happen. So I think that would be a really, really fun and useful thing to be done on the Bitcoin Cash blockchain. And even at Bitcoin.com, we're looking into maybe what the right way to do something along those lines would be.
So I'm relatively new to the industry, and I'm just sat here next to my friend, and I said, I'm really confused. Why does it say Bitcoin.com when we're talking about Bitcoin Cash and we're all promoting this? Now, for new people that are coming completely into the industry, I would be a little bit confused if I come to Bitcoin.com and I can buy Bitcoin, but I'm promoting Bitcoin Cash. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like-
it is. I agree. It is confusing. And what's even more confusing than that is the original title of the Bitcoin white paper was Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. But the people that manage to wrestle control of the Bitcoin project don't want it to be usable as cash. They're hostile to the idea of using it as cash. So it's kind of like a Twilight Zone world out there where Bitcoin Cash is the Bitcoin described in the Bitcoin white paper, and the thing that everyone's calling Bitcoin today isn't the original Bitcoin anymore. So, if you're unsure or unconvinced on that, try using both Bitcoin Cash and the BTC version of Bitcoin, and it's clear which one of those two work more useful as cash.
Okay, so I think I get that, but what I'm talking about is new people that are coming into the market. They're a bit confused. Like, why doesn't it say buy Bitcoin Cash at the top of the website? I'm buying Bitcoin, not Bitcoin Cash.
I think it says both.
Well, I just downloaded it, or on the app, sorry, and it just says at
Oh,
the
in
top,
the
it
app,
says
so
buy Bitcoin.
And if you click on it, though, it goes to a page where it's offering you both.
When I click on it, it just says buy Bitcoin with credit card. I think I'm just looking at more if you're, just as a
We
complete
probably need to
newcomer
fix
coming.
that because it should offer you both Bitcoin Cash, both BTC and BCH. And I think when you get to the checkout page, it'll offer both.
So yeah,
And
I was just kind
it
of.
sounds like you don't have any yet. So if you do hit the receive button, I'll send you some if you're willing to stand. And
Well,
balance on a
I
chair
was like,
and
you know what? I don't have a Bitcoin Cash wallet. I'm gonna look at it, and I was just kind of a little bit confused. So I'm just thinking of people that are completely new to the market. How are they not getting confused if we're trying to promote Bitcoin Cash, and we tell them to go to that website? Then they're buying Bitcoin, not Bitcoin Cash, when we want them to be buying Bitcoin Cash.
It is confusing. I agree, and we'll see what we can do to help alleviate that confusion. But
I would say that it's actually misleading how the Bitcoin white paper says a peer-to-peer electronic cash system, but the BTC version does not function as cash. So let's go to the next question. We got two here, so I'll just go.
and if she's willing to balance on a chair, I can send some more Bitcoin Cash there. So don't be shy.
Hi, Roger. Just wondering about the governments, Japanese government and the US government. What sort of reaction are you getting from them?
Not much at all. So we don't have a U.S. entity. We're not based in the U.S. So haven't heard much from the U.S. And Japan's pretty crypto friendly for the most part. We haven't had any issues here at all either. So.
Roger, hi. We got a development out in where we do about 135 townhouses. Now, I'm about to push the button on our marketing. We want to sell some of our townhouses and using Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash or Ethereum as a payment method. Now, what is your views in terms of the average price is about 400,000? Do you think there will be an uptake of of Bitcoin Cash versus Bitcoin for an asset-based product? So the question is there enough value in Bitcoin Cash to actually buy a big asset like that? And then, or do you think it's more in terms of, we're also thinking of doing tokenization on the retail side that we want to do and use then specifically Bitcoin Cash for that?
Yeah, there's definitely enough liquidity in Bitcoin Cash to do that sort of thing. No problem at all. In fact, and people are using it that way. There's another company called Money Token, and what they're doing is you put up your cryptocurrency as collateral, and they'll loan you traditional, Australian dollars or US dollars or euros or whatever, and you're using the cryptocurrency as a collateral. More people are using Bitcoin Cash than any other cryptocurrency. So more than Bitcoin, more than Ethereum, more than any of these other ones, which means that people are more bullish on the future uptake or upswing in the price of Bitcoin Cash than any of these other cryptocurrencies. And that's why they're using Bitcoin Cash as the collateral for that rather than some other cryptocurrencies. So I think that's a really bullish sign as well that the customers of Money Token are using more Bitcoin Cash than any other cryptocurrency. So give it a try, but expect some volatility. It definitely is volatile. Don't let that catch you by surprise.
Okay, going back to the YouTube questions, like Telegram, there's a Joey B. Wong, and he wants to know, how do you think we should proceed with future attacks on centralization? I think he might be referring to the miners that we just saw that tried to gain control over the network. But is Bitcoin Cash's governance model currently sound? Would you consider upgrades to the network?
Lots of questions wrapped up in one there. Is the governance sound? I don't know. There's a lot of fighting going on. It's always sound until it's not, right? Every government seems stable until it's overthrown. Every coin seems fine until it's attacked. So I don't know.
I want to know, what do you think about the future of like forums like RBTC, RBitcoin, as we know, and BitcoinTalk.org have gone downhill with like massive amounts of censorship? Do you think people are going to be moving away from Reddit to other platforms? Like I've seen Bitcoin.com have their own forum now, and obviously like Telegram groups are extremely popular as well for just like having conversation about various topics and things going on.
Yeah, and we can hope that people will be able to move to more and more platforms that allow free and open discussion. And then another big giant problem on the internet is like, you know, proof of human. Like, is the other person that you're talking to or posting comments, do they actually think those things? Or are they just being paid to cause trouble? Or is it an AI bot just being, you know, used to cause confusion? And that's a big issue on the internet. I'm not sure what the right way to solve that is. So, but I'm pretty sure all of you guys are real people having real discussions on camera here. So this seems like one nice way to solve those issues. So thanks for all participating.
Yeah, so it's me again. And one last question for you. Bitcoin is banned and cryptocurrency are banned in China. And they're also, well, outside of Macau and Hong Kong. And it's also banned in India. The Reserve Bank of India only recently revealed that they would be reviewing their anti-cryptocurrency laws. So what is your take on that, and how do you feel that we can potentially overcome those regulations that are imposed by governments to reduce the amount of cryptocurrency trading?
I guess there's a couple of ways. So you can beg and lobby for politicians to allow you to use cryptocurrencies, or you can just plain disobey and do it anyhow. And even within China, like cryptocurrencies aren't illegal. You're just not supposed to use them to buy and sell things domestically. But like even Bitmain, you know, you can pay in Bitcoin Cash for whatever mining equipment you want. If the customer's outside of China, just for customers inside of China, they're not accepting it directly. But I have no problem with, you know, I think good people disobey bad laws. And if a law is a bad one, I think you should disobey it. So.
Got another question here from online. There's a Sufane Von, and she wants to know about all the people who are saying Bitcoin Cash is Bitmain. And obviously this is not entirely accurate. Like I would question, how do you think that Bitcoin Cash is Bitmain? That doesn't really make too much sense to me, but she wants to know your thoughts about people who are saying that.
Yeah, I think people can say whatever they want. It just doesn't make it true. And you can say, you know, Bitmain is space aliens, but it doesn't mean there's space aliens either. So say whatever you want, but back it up with some evidence. And you know, Bitmain produces more mining hardware than any other company in the world. So the vast majority of the mining equipment, mining BTC, was manufactured by Bitmain too. But so what? So what? I'm not worried. I'm worried about the truth, not unbacked opinions.
I wanted to know about the ASIC miners, and we've recently seen a trend where coins are trying to like block ASICs from mining on their coin, and some of these ones that have done that have actually caused problems for their cryptocurrency. And now we see Ethereum recently, they want to get rid of ASIC miners on their network. What are your thoughts on doing something like that?
Yeah, I think that's a really, really big mistake. I think the miners are the ones that have the most incentive to support your coin, and especially ASIC miners, because they have this specialized hardware that's made specifically for that specific coins. They have all this, you know, money and capital tied up in mining equipment to mine a coin. Those are going to be your biggest supporters and your most vocal, you know, cheerleaders for the coin, and the people that are the most eager in seeing the coin get more adoption because they're so invested in it. So to pull the rug out from under these people that are mining your coin seems like a really, really big mistake to me. I think you should be welcoming the miners with open arms and saying thank you for helping secure our network, and thank you for devoting so much of your time and energy and capital to our coins. So I think it's a big mistake to try and to disable ASICs once they've been created for a particular coin.
I would totally agree with those remarks. Okay, going to another audience question over here.
Good evening, morning, whatever you are. Did you mention an exchange when you first started talking? It took me a while to cog into your accent.
Sorry for the accent. Yeah, at some point we would like to launch an exchange on Bitcoin.com, but we don't have that ready yet. But we're looking into it very, very heavily at the moment. So, but it's not ready yet. But there's lists of lots and lots of other exchanges that you can use. So if you head on over to Bitcoin.com, we have all the information that you need for that sort of thing over there.
Okay, so what is a Japanese-based exchange? Are there any?
Yeah, there's several big ones. There's Bitflyer, CoinCheck, and Coin, QUINE are the big three here in Japan. And there's a number of smaller ones as well.
Okay, and I don't have any Bitcoin Cash. Are you happy to send me $20 worth?
Sure, I gladly will. You just have to balance on a chair and hold your camera, your phone up to the camera for me, or get someone else to do it for you. And you have to have the app installed already as well. So I see someone's ready. There we go. So let's zoom in or hold it closer. There we go. Hold it still. A little bit to your right, I think. There, hold it still so the camera can focus. There we go. Got it. Okay. And here, you know what? I'm sending you $60 so you can send $20 to 2 other people. So here it goes. It's from my phone sending. And now it's sent from my phone, and you should see it on your phone already. And you can find 2 other people. You'll have a much easier time scanning their phone than I was able to scan yours. And you can send $20 to 2 other people in the audience that don't have any Bitcoin Cash yet. And you can practice sending and receiving that way. There we go, to your left a little bit, I think. I think your screen's a little bit too bright. Maybe turn the brightness down on your screen. If you can hear me, I think you need to turn the brightness down on the screen.
We'll go to another question now. I'll get the girls to just send it to him. It's all good. I think they got it worked out now. So this is now Adam, who wants to ask the question too.
Hey, Roger. Yeah, mate. Look, last time I heard you speak was back in August at Block Conscious with Paul. You're talking about cryogenically freezing yourself. And I've been thinking a little bit about that. How does that work, and what's your plan?
Sure. So the idea is that, technology is getting better and better every single year. So in the future, medical technology will be far, far better than it is today. So let's say you have a heart attack or a stroke or cancer today and you die. The idea is that they'll freeze your entire body in a big giant vat of liquid nitrogen. And in the future, they'll have medical technology that will be able to repair the damage caused by the freezing process and repair the damage from the stroke or the heart attack or the cancer, and hopefully wake you back up and, have round 2 of life. And if it doesn't work, you're not any worse off than anybody else that got buried in the ground. And you can pay for the whole thing in cryptocurrency.
So, Roger, at what stage do you freeze yourself into the disease? Like on the brink of death?
Right after you die right after you die of.
So you die, then you freeze yourself.
Right.
You die. Oh, okay. And then when they cure it, you unfreeze yourself and cure yourself.
And once you're in the liquid nitrogen, you have, dozens or tens or even hundreds of years right there waiting. And if you today's what, 2019 now. Look at what medical technology was in like 1979, the year I was born, right? They couldn't do hardly anything compared to what they do today. So what's it going to be like in another 40 years? They probably will have these little tiny nanobots that'll be able to go in your body and repair each cell individually. And if it works, fantastic. If it doesn't, you're not any worse off than anybody else that got buried in the ground or cremated or any of the traditional things they do with people when
Exactly,
they
I
die.
totally agree. That's why I'm asking. So how
There's
do
no
you get this
downside.
done? Like, who would you go see?
In Australia, I don't know, but the main leader in the world is a company based out of Arizona in the U.S., and it's a company called Alcor, ALCOR .org. And I knew when I first got involved in cryptocurrency, when Hal Finney, the first person to ever send or receive any Bitcoin from Satoshi, he's frozen over there right now. So, and I've been signed up for the same service since I was like 19 or 20 years old. Most people pay for it with a life insurance policy. And so that when you die, the life insurance policy pays this company. So it's
on the
when you
policy.
buy a life insurance policy, it's really really cost effective that way.
Thanks for that question. I think we'll let Roger go in the next 5 minutes, so we'll just take last questions now.
Hi, mate. I haven't got any Bitcoin myself, but I just wanted to know if there was going to be like a safety net, like if you lose your password or your wallet, if there was like a safety net that you can get your money back, or if you've invested money.
The safety net in the wallet in the wallets that everyone was just installing, that the money is literally on each person's phone, but you can make a backup of that wallet by writing it out 12 words on a piece of paper and then putting those 12 words somewhere safe. So anybody that gets access to those 12 words can access the money that's in that wallet. So it's important to keep them secret, but as long as you have access to those 12 words, even if you lose your phone or if your phone's stolen, you can still access the money. But if you lose your phone and the 12 words, the money's gone forever. So you can lose one or the other, but not both.
But there won't be any backup for that either. So once you lose both of them, that's it.
Well, hopefully you don't lose both of them. And if you want, you can make multiple copies. And I can't hear what else he said, but
yeah, sure.
You can make lots of copies of the 12 words. Put one under your mattress, one in the safety deposit box. Give one to your, your grandma, whatever you want there. You can have as many backup copies as you want.
Hi, I just have a question, I guess, extending on the lady before was talking about the confusion between Bitcoin Cash and BTC. And so with this, I mean, this is the first time, to be honest, I've been sort of watching this space for a while, have some slight investment in it, but it's pretty complex, it's pretty technical for someone coming in with no knowledge of it. And this is the first time I've probably seen something that's really quite easy to use and explain and visually see. So what kind of marketing is put behind it? What sort of plan is there around that to market it more widely in the community, in the general community?
Yeah, luckily we have a pretty good domain name with Bitcoin.com, and so we're marketing it on there. And we have a team of right around 100 people working on all the products and services to make Bitcoin Cash useful as cash for the world. And hopefully that team will be even bigger by the end of this year as well. So all of us are true believers and super motivated. Everybody at Bitcoin.com gets paid in Bitcoin Cash. We pay as many of our bills as we possibly can in Bitcoin Cash. We're really trying to make this cash for the world, and we're off to a pretty good start.
Thank you. And we've got 2 more questions over here, and then I think we'll wrap it up.
Hi, Roger. I just wanted to ask you regarding BACT that's coming out, well, supposedly. I heard on one of the YouTube channels they were talking about whether, what coins will be listed with BACT. Have you heard much about that? Well,
I've heard of BACT, but I don't know anything more about it other than I've heard of it, so I can't really comment on that. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So on this YouTube channel, they're talking tentatively that Bitcoin Cash might be part of the group that they'll originally list. So BACT is from the New York Stock Exchange. That well, you can look it up. But it's probably worthwhile in your interest to check it out.
Great. I'll gladly Google it when I have some more time. Thank you.
Last question over here.
Okay, Roger, Trent here again. This question is, I guess, in regards to the economics of money, and I guess your perspective on where you see the end game of cryptocurrency. Do you see one cryptocurrency to rule them all, or do you see multiple cryptocurrencies? So I guess from the perspective of gold and where gold fat in with the gold standard. You're not going to find me. I'm in the video dark spot. So, cheers.
Yeah, I think there'll be multiple competing cryptocurrencies, but I think you'll see, you know, one or a few of them have the lion's share in the vast majority. But there's a lot, and even today with fiat currencies, there's a bunch of different. How many different dollars are there? There's the U.S., the Canadian, the Australian, the Singapore, and New Zealand, and probably a bunch more too. So like, there's room for more than one. So, but the network effect is super important as well. So with the internet, I think you'll see, you know, one currency that's more widely accepted than others, but it has to be one that actually works as a currency. So we'll see.
All right. Well, I think that just about sums it up. So thanks very much, Roger, for giving us your time.
And I want to thank all of you guys in Australia. I really see you guys, you know, really spreading adoption of cryptocurrency in a big way, especially to the group over in North Queensland. Like, I watch all the stuff happening online. So thank you guys down under for doing all that stuff there.
Yep, those guys are really active, and hopefully they will bring some of their adoption down here soon too, because they're building a point of sale system, I've heard. So hopefully more adoption is coming our way with Bitcoin Cash. All right. Well, thanks very much once again, Roger, and I will see you around. Enjoy.
Thank you all. Good evening.